it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. I'm back again for a second video in one day. Woohoo! This is a more normal video. I did a product share video earlier this morning, my normal posting time, because I'm so excited that we're going to be able to order everything in just a few days' time. It's amazing! I'm just going to try and be sensible about how much I order, or not. Anyway, one of the things that I already have is the Forever Fern stamp set, and I have a card to share with you today, which is relatively straightforward and could be adapted for a more casual or beginner crafter, but because it involves dies, this is really a more avid crafter type project. But this is it. So you can see that these are dies. This is actually embossed. I don't know if you can hear. It's embossed with the subtle embossing folder, which is the one that gives you that just stripy feel. It's like some cardstocks. But yes, it's basically just layering. And of course you could just cut these sizes with your trimmer, which is why I say you could adapt it to a more casual or beginner crafter. Probably more casual, someone who's good at sizing on their trimmer. Piece of designer series paper, as I say, and this uses Pretty Peacock both on the stamp and on the backing mat. Soft seafoam on the designer series paper and here, and this is the Just Jade. It looks almost at this point that it could be mint macaron, but it's not, and this is how I know, because that is mint macaron. So I am changing up how I'm making the one I'm going to share with you today. I'm also changing the stamp, so instead of having this stamp, I'm going to have the more classic leaf stamp. But there are lovely, lovely leaves, and I love you can do this, so it's really empowering. Love and laughter forever after, so you can use this for weddings. And to a friend that makes me smile is great for any time, but certainly now, and also hello. So I think hello to a friend that makes me smile would be perfect. And this, if you're one of those people who doesn't like doing the splatter that way, don't. It's got a splatter and it's controllable. So lovely. I'm using the dies that go with the So Sentimental stamp set that is in the Spring Summer catalogue. So if you like these, do take a look at that bundle. It's not just these, it is labels as well, and obviously they fit perfectly with the stamps, or they're sized perfectly for the stamps. So, as ever, measurements will be on my website, which is below. While you're watching, do take that millisecond to subscribe. I do love to have people subscribe to the channel. It means that more people are going to be able to find my channel. The more people who subscribe, the more YouTube goes, hey, people like this channel, let's show it to other people who like crafting. So it would help me and it would help them as well. Okay, so I have already done some of the prep. So I've cut my garden green mat. I don't normally use garden green, so I'm making myself use it. Mint macaron, which I have already put through the embossing folder. Soft seafoam, which I almost think of as a neutral when you're in the green palette. Mint macaron here, so this mirrors here. And then obviously Whisper White for the stamp. My brain suddenly went. Garden green ink. Now I just need to check, can I go that way? Yes, I can. So all I need to do is ink up my stamp. Just tap it a few times. You don't want to over ink. If you over ink, this is one of the distinctive stamps, and if you over ink, it just goes into a splodge. So gentle tapping, no more than that. And then just down, hold, so that the ink's got a chance to move across and up, and there we have a really crisp, beautifully shaded, you couldn't do it other than with a distinctive stamp. The other stamp that I need, which I haven't got out, which was silly, is the Hello, which is that one. Now, I've got a video coming next week on how to put the labels onto your new stamp set, so if that is something that you find challenging, come back on Tuesday next week and I'll have a video for you on that. So that's all the stamping that we need to do. This I'm going to punch, this I need to die cut, so bear with me while I step away and throw that through my die cutting machine, which I've just realised I have not got any mats on, which is not clever, but that's fine. And bind. I've got a new cutting plate, so the dies are actually adhering to this lovely, well, it was lovely new smooth surface. So that is the die cutting done. Then all I need is my classic label punch. I think it's the classic, and I'm going to pop it in so that it's towards one end, and then make sure it's straight. Punch, and then pop it back in, make sure it's straight, as in not skew whiff. You don't want it like that, for example. That was an extreme way of putting it, but you get my point. And then punch again, and it's a nice small little label for your small word. Okay, so now what we need to do is put it all together. I'm just wondering, did I stamp on the inside? No, I didn't. Okay. Right. Whisper White card base. I generally put these together in a sort of mass production line. I normally take a whole pack of Whisper White and Very Vanilla and score and then cut so that I've got everything that I'm going to need for some weeks to come. So let's pop all this together. The first thing I'm going to do is stick down my mat. Now, I always have a look, because I'm curious, when I see that I've got an online order, which is lovely. I still get that thrill when someone orders through me. It really is, I love it. And I do have a look and see what they've ordered, and very few people order I'm just trying to straighten that out a wee bit, that's better. Very few people order the bone folder, and I don't know why, because you get such a nice crisp finish, and it's also good for smoothing down glue and all those sorts of things. Now, I am going to use snail to adhere this, but I'm actually going to put it onto my cardstock, purely because I'm a little concerned that now that I've put it through the embossing folder, the snail might squash it. But it also means that it's much easier to line up because this isn't sticky. So you can get it out how you want it and then just drop it and smooth it down and you're good to go. Right, so these two pieces I'm going to stick straight on top of my designer series paper. And the key is always, if you get the first one reasonably straight, everything else falls into place. Now, with the previous version, by the time I had embossed the paper, I honestly couldn't tell you which way up the words were. So it may be that they're wrong. I don't think they are, but let me just show you. Can you see? It's just a sort of white line. But whether the whether the words are the right way up or not, I really couldn't tell you. So I was quite pleased when I went to the mint macaron and it was more obvious. Okay, that's that. And then for the final pieces, I need dimensionals. So let me grab those because I want dimensionals behind my floral and behind my hello. Shall I use 3? Yeah, let's be rash, let's use 3. I don't think it needs one in each corner, that much I do think. And then this just goes into the middle. So that's that. And then this is the perfect size for, if I could find my scissors, for the, there they are, buried under the other card. The perfect size for an edge piece, because you don't need to put one of these on. Apart from the else, you probably have to cut it down. Yes, you would have to cut it down. So let's use one of the edge pieces, and then this I'm going to have down in the bottom corner so that it's coming into the garden green with its arrow. And that is all there is to it. So there we go. Are we going to go down the more aqua line with the pretty peacock, or the very green line with the garden green? I would love to know which one you prefer, and which image do you prefer. I think they both have their merits. This reminds me of Honesty, which my grandmother always used to have in a vase in their hallway. They had one of those big, impressive hallways with a big staircase, very dark oak, and then the white of the Honesty seed heads was striking, really striking. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Do remember to subscribe, and there is a link to the blog post immediately below, and that will give you the dimensions. There's also a list of all of the products I've used both on my blog post and below. I say all of the products I've used. All of the products I've used that are not in the new catalogue. So anything that's in the current catalogue I have listed below. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks a lot.